Cars 100% online wouldn't work, but we went to work, building an experience that lets you shop over 17,000 cars from home, creating a coast-to-coast network to deliver your car as soon as tomorrow, recruiting an army of customer advocates to make your experience incredible, and putting you in control of the whole thing with powerful technology. That's why we've become the nation's fastest growing retailer, because our customers love it. See for yourself at Carvana.com.
The new flavor is in production as we speak. We've been hyped about this for months, and the time is finally here. So let's go check it out. In here. This Galaxy Burst. This flavor has a burst of candy with a hint of tart, leaving your taste buds begging for more. It's fruity and creamy, yet sweet and tangy. After months of testing and formulation, this galactic flavor is sure to take over the galaxy. Now let's give it a try. So good.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, time to go.
RaiseEnergy.com. Mike Gardner, a host, unfiltered, unscripted, raw. Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast. Hey guys, welcome, happy Wednesday. Hope everybody enjoyed this morning's brief. Had Jerry, good friends of mine from U.S. Freedom Fighters, on the podcast this morning on the Patriot Brief. Hope everybody enjoyed that podcast episode. Those who don't know what the Patriot Brief is, it's like a side piece here to the main podcast of the Patriot Angle. It's a bonus panel of the podcast. We do them from time to time. Basically, extra footage, extra content on the show. Obviously the listeners always demand more, and we give it to them, guys. We always deliver, right? This is a podcast that's constantly growing. Producer Josh cueing in the crickets here in the background, which listeners love to hear, because guys, we made the crickets sound effects a part of the show here, because that's what we're getting, folks, from this government. Crickets, literally crickets. And anyway, guys, going off topic, which anybody heard the other day, Collective Call on Tuesday, just yesterday, guys, was telling me, Mike, stay on topic. I'm going to try to, guys. It's very hard sometimes to stay on topic because we got so much going on right now in the country. So much. But with that being said, guys, welcome to Wednesday's show. Welcome. Got a heated show today. We're going to talk about the related midnight flights. Yes, a lot of networks, a lot of other shows not talking about the midnight flights of so much flight coming and going near the southern border. Like, what's going on with the flights, right? Like, secrecy of flights coming and going from Mexico to the U.S. and other regions of the world. I mean, what is going on? Why is the press secretary, Peppermint Patty, right, Jen Psaki, not reporting to the press on this? Like, what's going on with the midnight flights? I know a lot of networks are not touching on this subject, right? But here on the podcast, guys, we dug up producer Josh and I and the rest of the team here at the Patriot Angle podcast, we dug up information. We dug up sources here of just research that we found literally deep into the web, right? No, guys, not the dark web, because that's another subject. I'm talking about deep into the web. We searched and searched until our fingers were starting to hurt on the keyboard. We found this information, guys, from Facebook, believe it or not. And I'm not going to give the woman's name or nothing like that, but, some of her words that she's speaking about, these midnight flights, the related story, and even relating to the border wall. You got to hear this, guys. I want to plug into the show here this story because, like I said, I don't think any network nor podcast is even covering this. Josh, not even a conservative podcast host. I don't think anybody knows what's going on. And this is very, very important stuff. If it's true, guys, I want to know, because this is terrible of what's going on. Not only is Biden destroying our democracy, he's destroying our way of life. Relating the midnight flights, secrecy of, flights usually happening in the midnight hours, hence the word midnight flights, right? What's going on, folks, is it's relating to our border wall. You got to listen to this. I want to plug in this sound clip here, and I'm just warning you, folks. This is going to be probably the longest sound clip I've ever plugged into any of our podcast episodes, because this is important information. And like I said, if this is true, folks, this is disgusting of what's going on. Relating our border wall of possibly being removed, stripped, knocked down under dictator Biden's orders. Yeah, Joe Manchin wants to knock down the border wall that former President Donald Trump worked so hard in getting. And a lot of us know that border wall was funded by taxpayers. Hey, I don't mind my taxes going to a very, very well-known project that needed to happen, the border wall. If he's going to knock down this border wall, guys, is all our taxes that we paid into this thing, is it going to be refunded back to us next year in January when we have to file our taxes? Like, what the fuck is going on, guys? You got to check this video out. I'm going to plug it in right now. Producer Josh, we got to plug this video in. Plug it in here. This is crazy.
With Women Fighting for America here. I'm going to keep this really short and brief. I'm here in Arizona still, and I've been working really hard with some amazing individuals who love this nation, who are part of the Arizona police chiefs, things like that, who are very concerned what's getting ready to happen, not just in Arizona, but across this country. So I'm going to be really brief. I'm going to update you on a couple things. We have the Democratic Party, who no longer serves the United States of America, and you guys already know that. But what they're doing is very dangerous, and it's well thought out, and it's scary. They have now decided that they are going to completely take away the border wall. If you do not know this, this is key and this is critical. They are actively removing, literally, the border wall on the southern border. They're starting it right now in California. We as American citizens must ask ourselves this one question. Why would this party take down a border wall that we've already spent billions of dollars to build to help protect and secure the sovereignty of our nation? There's only one answer to that. They're welcoming an invasion to our nation. It's not just through the illegal immigration that's going on right now. And I was with one of the reporters from The Atlantic magazine, which is definitely left-wing, and she stood in the gap with me last week. We were the only individuals protecting the border, while a drug cartel member with his hand on his weapon was bringing across somebody who had just paid him. I have this on film, and Daily Caller was with me. They put it out as well. As she's standing in the gap, she's saying, well, migration's always going to happen. This is not migration, my friends. This is an actual invasion into a nation. 165 plus countries, military-age men. These military-age men that are coming over here, they are being separated out. And because this administration does everything in the cover of darkness, we don't know what they're doing with them, where they're going, or what their intent with these individuals are. I have a very good idea. It is disgusting, Miss Rosa. We also have a nation that they're flooding in all different directions between bringing more Afghan refugees over while American citizens sit in Afghanistan and cannot get out and being held hostage by the Taliban. We have individuals who are sitting up in Washington, D.C. in a prison with no due process. We have police officers and pilots and first responders turning in their boots and walking out because of an unconstitutional mandate. They are weakening our police force. They are weakening our first response. They are weakening our military. The supply chain is now being disruptive. These are military tactics. If you know anything about the art of war, how to destabilize, that's exactly what the left is doing right now. And as an American citizen who loves my nation and loves my country and knows, because I've been to communist countries, I've been to the Muslim world, I've personally been there, I can tell you they are at war with us, and they've been at war with us for a very long time. My fear is this. I'm out in the front lines all the time. I've been to over 30 states, and I see Americans walking around like nothing's happening. Our home is on fire, and it's literally halfway burnt to the ground. And there's nobody rushing in to save us. We need you to get involved. And when I'm gonna tell you what exactly you need to do to get involved. It's not just about throwing money at the problem, which we do need for social media, to get the word out, all of those things. Yes, exactly. Yugoslavia war, similar strategies being implemented here. Communist strategies that's right. You're right. When you've been to those countries, you've lived in those countries, you understand exactly the tactics and what's going on. It is time to peacefully take to the streets. They're going to try to twist my words, tell me I'm an insurrectionist. I'm not calling for violence. I loathe violence. Violence is the last thing on the world that we need to do. But let me tell you, they threw the first bullet. They are attacking us. They're attacking our sovereignty. They're attacking our Constitution. And it's without mercy. America, please wake up. You don't have much time. We've got a supposable solar flare coming in 30 days. They're going to utilize that to take over the communication systems. They're working with CPP China right now on that 5G network. What do you think that is? Our grids. Biden, one of the first things he did, he overturned one of Trump's executive orders, and that was for China not to be able to have access to our electricity grids. You can look this up. You can research this if you don't believe me. It's facts.
Patriot, unfiltered, raw. All right, guys, you just heard a sound clip there that we plugged into the show. Guys, this is pretty real deep stuff, guys. Pretty real deep shit. I mean, like I said, if this is true of what the Biden administration is doing, guys, this is beyond being funny and, making jokes about Biden. Guys, this administration is out to literally destroy us. Guys, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would see a government literally wanting to destroy its own people. Folks, you just heard it. A sound clip I plugged into the show. Okay? From a patriot conservative voicing her views on what is truly going on in this country. It's sick, folks. Literally sick shit. These midnight flights that we've been hearing for like the last, week and a half, right, Josh? Like week and a half, right? A lot of it isn't being reported through mainstream. None of it is. It's crazy of what's going on. Literally. And then now sources are saying that this administration wants to knock down our southern border wall that needs to be in place. Folks, this is a wall not for political reasons. This is a security wall to keep us safe, all of us safe. Every country in this world has some form of barrier of a wall. It's not for political reasons. It's for security, folks. Right? For security. Don't tell me that in any town, city, suburb, where sometimes you will see a big, large house, a mansion, right? There's a wall, whether it's a fence, a brick wall, or any type of barrier surrounding that property, that mansion, that beautiful investment, right? These are people that invested their hard-earned money, okay, to build that property. So sure, they want to put a wall or some type of barrier around their home or their investment because they're protecting it. Yes, the word investment. They're protecting their investment, folks. They're protecting their property, their well-deserved property. Folks, this is America. This is our property, our homeland. So why do we have to defend the right for that wall? We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to explain ourselves why there has to be a wall on the southern border. Not for political reasons. I got into that. It's for security, folks, to secure our homeland against any domestic or foreign threat. And it's going on. We're getting into some deep stuff, guys. Really, really deep stuff. We touched on the supply chain crisis, right, earlier this week. And then into the end of last week, I touched a little bit on it. With the supply chain shortages, right? But according to Biden, oh no, the economy is building up stronger than ever, even before the former administration. Yeah, right, Joe. Under what delusional world, if anything, is it building up stronger? Folks, you know, if Biden is preaching this to be true, that this economy is stronger than the previous administration, folks, you're just as blind as the next person next to you. Because, folks, what they're saying on the left, right, about the economy is all lies. It's all lies. Every single one of it's lies. The COVID-19 hysteria is one big lie. The vaccines are a lie. The masks are a lie. The economy, the record high economy under Biden is a lie. Everything is a lie, folks, under this administration. It's one big illusion of what's going on in this country. There's a plan, folks. A master plan under this president and under this administration. They have a plan, folks, of what they want to do. And it is it's unfolding right in front of our eyes. We're seeing it unfold. Well, simple-minded people are seeing it. The brainwashed sheep. They don't see it. Because all they see is build back better. Build back better. That's all they see under this president. That's all they see. As long as it's not Donald Trump in office, they can care less what happens to this country. They can care less that millions and millions of illegal immigrants, some with diseases and viruses that we don't even know of, some of cartel members and gang members and violent criminals coming from third world countries into this country. Folks, it's going to hurt us in the end. It's going to hurt us in the end. And like you heard this woman say, it's time to step up, America. It's time to step up. Be right back, guys, after these words. Don't go anywhere.
It's getting harder to make ends meet in Canada, and will only get harder as we approach the holiday season. Canada's Conservatives have a plan to help Canadian families and small businesses. We will implement a month-long GST holiday this December. All purchases at retail stores will be tax-free for a month. It's time to give families a break and help small businesses recover. Canada's Conservatives are the only party with a detailed plan to lower prices. Together, we will secure the future.
Kayak searches hundreds of travel sites and shows you which flights are waiving change fees, so you can spend the rest of 2021 doing what you do best. Kayak. Search one and done.
Why is the administration flying thousands of migrants from the border to Florida and New York in the middle of the night?
Well, I'm not sure that it's in the middle of the night, but let me tell you what's happening here. It is our
4:29 a.m.
Well,
very early in the morning.
That's a confirmation, though. That's the White House confirming the New York Post report that the Biden administration has been secretly flying underage migrants to Florida and New York in the middle of the night. I happen to think 2 and 4 a.m., although I often get up at 4 a.m., Fox and Friends, in the middle of the night. And for all that we know, it might not just be limited to those states. Buses there are waiting to take them to prearranged drop-off locations, and there's no end in sight to this self-created border crisis, as reports are coming in that the, quote, mother of all caravans, self-named, is heading towards Biden's open border. Joining me now is nationally syndicated...
Yeah, guys, what's going on with these midnight flights, right? What's going on with it? Really, worrying on whose hands these children are going to. Folks, the lies will basically sink the boat. Every secret has a time to be exposed. Pretty much, guys. I mean, pretty much. Just kind of quoting the great Tucker Carlson. He had said on his podcast, awesome conservative host there. Guys, what is going on? And it's the Democrats, guys. They're very clever to use these hours, the witching hours of a lot of people come to calling it over the years of 2 to 4 a.m. of using these hours, midnight hours, to secretly fly these migrants to other areas of the country, including Florida and other areas. Florida being a big, migrant state, right? It has been like that for years. But why are they doing this, folks? Why? Like, what's the reason behind this? You know, I could tell you reasons, I could tell you thoughts, but they're just thoughts. They're just reasons, guys. They sometimes they can mean huge things. Sometimes they're meaningless, you know? But the worst part is feeling absolutely powerless to stop what you're seeing. It's horrifying. No wonder mental illness is going up, guys. We're seeing mental illness in this country rise to historic highs. I touched this just yesterday with Collective Call on the show, right? Mental illness, folks. There's people that are suffering mental illness that never suffered it a day in their lives under this pandemic, under this COVID-19 hysteria that we're all suffering from. Never suffered from it a day in their lives. A simple psychiatrist could pretty much screen them and say, oh, these people never suffered mental illness. That they're suffering it from it now. Whether it's, losing their jobs, walking off their jobs because employers are forcing and implementing vaccine mandates because the dictators in office are forcing that employer to force it on their employees. Folks, everything what you're seeing right now has happened to America. This is nothing new. Nothing new. I mean, simply this crap would drive the sanest person absolutely nuts. Like I said, this is nothing new. This has happened before in America. We've gone through tyranny in this country several times over. We've seen it in the 70s. Hell, we even seen it in the 80s. Quite recently under, Dr. Doom himself, Fauci, implementing it with the AIDS and HIV pandemic in the early to mid 80s. Rewind back, I just touched the 70s. We've seen it with the 70s with the swine flu. Hell, we even seen it with the 1920s with the Spanish flu. Folks, this is nothing new. It's happened before. Socialism in this country has reached our shores many times. Many times. And like American citizens then realized, and I'm hoping that they realize now, that socialism does not work in any form, in any country. Whether it's America, Venezuela, Cuba, China, doesn't work in any country, folks. Doesn't. Folks, the words there is that this story, okay, this hysteria of a story will forever continue if we don't put a stop to it. It has to be stopped. I mean, to literally, just folks, it has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. Why do we have to put up with this crap? Oh, let's hear from Jen Psaki on this. Oh, you got to listen to this crap. Why is the White House flying migrants to Florida and New York? Oh, we asked this question to Jen Psaki, right? The Associated Press. We asked this to her. And what was her answer? Oh, you got to check this out, guys. Listen to this.
If told my girlfriend to pick one of the 6 bottles left with a secret message. My girlfriend picked the purple one, and when she opened it, it said shopping spree. She got so excited, but when we got to the mall, I told her there's a catch. I put a limit on the card, and if the card gets declined once, we'll have to return everything. This gave me a chance to use my new Lily Pro debit card. I'll have the total at the top to keep track of all her spending, and luckily for me, Lily Pro debit card does that. Lily keeps track of all my business expenses, which is great for me as a content creator, like this camera or this laptop. So if you're a content creator or freelancer like me, click the link in my bio and check out Lily. But look what happened when I told my girlfriend she didn't actually have a limit.
Responsibility to safely care for unaccompanied children until they can be swiftly unified with a parent or a vetted sponsor, and that's something we take seriously. We have a right obligation to do that and to deliver on that. As a part of the unification process, our Office of Refugee Resettlement facilitates travel for children in its custody to their families or sponsors across the country. So in recent weeks, unaccompanied children passed through the Westchester Airport, which I think is what you're referring to, en route to their final destination to be unified with their parents or vetted sponsor. It's no surprise that kids can be seen traveling through states, not just New York. It's something that we're also working to unite children with their family members or vetted sponsors in other parts of the country as well.
Whoa. Slow down, Jen. Slow the frig down. Did you see how fast that woman literally was trying to get it out? I mean, whoa. That's the fastest I ever heard her speak in any of the press briefings. Like, did you get all that? Did you, show of hands in the studio here, Josh, Mika, did you guys get all that? I mean, I didn't get it. I mean, whoa. I mean, she didn't even give time for the press to even, like, question her. I mean, whoa. She was like, I mean, real quick. You know? But I did hear one part of the statement that she said, which I'll try to narrate to the listeners here on the podcast. If a vetted sponsor can sponsor them, they can get status. Like, what? Like, what? Come again? If a vetted sponsor can sponsor them, like, what's the... I don't know. Why are the crossings illegal? Because they're not going through a fucking merit system, you simple-minded idiot. Oh my God, folks, we're literally being, run by like kindergarten children. Seriously, nothing against the children of that age, but seriously, we're being run by kindergarten children. This government, seriously, this administration is literally complacent in the act of breaking the law. I mean, they should all be held accountable. So just children being transported in the wee dark hours? Like, huh? Come again? I mean, I suppose the politicians' black market price, for children is going to take a plunge in the market value now, right? I mean, this is disgusting of what's going on. And then my statement here towards, migrant children. Oh boy, I mean, my statement here for, children of, or excuse me, parents of these kids, these unaccompanied to the border, right? The parents that are not with their children, they should be in jail. I mean, because in America, Parents go to jail when they neglect their children, right? What's wrong with this picture is, oh no, it's another picture. It's another scenario with these migrant parents. Oh, really? These kids are coming to the country literally without their parents. Some as young as 4 or 5 years old. Where's children protected services right there? Are they there at the border? Are there caseworkers there? Folks, this is terrible. Terrible. But we now know the whole plan for these midnight flights, right? The witching hours of 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. You know, because most people are asleep from 2 to 5 a.m. and won't be looking at the flights. So that's very smart of the Democrats right there, guys. Real smart. I mean, I thought trafficking was illegal. I mean, is it illegal? I mean, to my knowledge, it's still a law, right? If you get caught trafficking, no matter what part of the fucking world you're in, you go to jail. That's it. The cuffs get slapped on the wrist, and you go back in the paddy wagon. Bye-bye. You lose your freedoms, and that's that, and you go to jail. I mean, why isn't anybody asking these questions? Why isn't the press not questioning this? What press, right, Mike? What press? There is no press. There is no positive news in this country anymore. Nothing. It's terrible. I mean, folks, this is unlawful entry into the United States. But according to Biden, we are a country of open sovereignty. Well, we are, folks. We are. I do believe in that. But I believe in merit base. Merit base. Need to come into this country with merit base.
Drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and moon rivers and me.
Tiffany and Company.
One, we've seen President Biden break away from President Trump's border policies, and now this latest move, the administration saying that they are formally returning billions of dollars back to the Department of Defense that had been diverted for border wall construction. And like you said, they're planning to cancel all existing construction contracts there on the border wall. The Trump administration only built about 80 miles of new wall where wall hadn't existed before. Some Republicans, as you can imagine, are blasting the Biden administration, saying that this will exacerbate the migrant crisis. But the White House wrote in a statement that they inherited a broken immigration system that wasted billions of taxpayer dollars and neither kept the American people safe nor adhered to our values. Now, they say the money will instead go to daycares and schools on military bases. The big question now, what will happen to the wall overall? The administration says they're still reviewing all of it. Eva?
Yeah. The money's going to go to daycare centers on military bases. Okay. That's also a good thing, right? I tell you, I don't have a problem with my tax-paying money going to daycare centers. Don't have a problem with it at all. Go ahead. Go ahead. But is it going to go to military families, or is it going to go to these new migrant families, right? Not to sound bash or nothing like that, bashful and, say it in a really negative way. But I mean, folks, it's clearly showing it. I mean, if walls aren't a solution, why are there so many in D.C. right now? Yeah, go figure, right? Go to Washington, D.C. You'll see walls all over the place in our capital. Oh, there's walls all over the place, right? If they don't want walls, if this government, this administration, right? If Biden doesn't want a long southern wall in Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley, if he doesn't want that, why do they have walls in D.C.? Why do they have walls around federal buildings in major cities and towns? Why? Like, what's the difference? What are those walls? Why do they have walls there? Huh. Right? But, like, what's liberals going to say on that? Oh, they'll probably say something stupid like, oh, that's to protect our capital from Trump loonies. Oh, really? Oh, okay. What about the illegal loonies that are coming into our country? What about the people that can care less about this country? All they care about is a fucking handout. I mean, I'm making points, right? If that's not patriotic, I don't know what is. Walls work. Good, huh? Or are they racist? I mean, I'm confused now, right? Walls are okay around millionaires and billionaire homes, and and politicians. They can have their walls around their mansions, but they don't want walls at the southern border because that's racist. It's a form of bigotry. Wake up, people. Stop being blind. Open your eyes to see the bigger picture here. I want to quote something here. I love quoting people on the right moments here in life. I want to quote somebody here. Great comedian, late comedian, George Carlin. Everybody knows who George Carlin is, right? A really big supporter of the conservative movement. In my eyes, George Carlin was probably the most conservative panelist, not only as a comedian, but as a panelist. I mean, the guy was brilliant. And he made a lot of good points, too. Saying that, with walls, he had mentioned walls a lot on his comedy skits. That if walls work so well in life, why don't we use them? Right? Common sense. Leave it simple. If walls work so well, why aren't we using them? Folks, I want to close it out right here. I'm getting a little winded here. I'm getting a little fed up, with this whole administration. Just producer Josh talking to me right now saying, just open up that border, Joe. With all the border problems and drugs and human trafficking going through the Mexican border, this is the right thing to do. Joe's a smart man. What a joke. They should be putting up double walls and electrifying them, not taking them down or stopping the building of one. Right, Josh? They, I agree with producer Josh. I know you can't hear him on the show, but he's like my earpiece. He reminds me here of just key points on just what needs to be implemented here on the show. Folks, it has to stop. It has to stop here. It's just, when is it going to stop? We don't know. But it has to stop. They have to stop blaming Republicans and stop blaming Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not in office anymore, guys. He's not in office anymore. Stop blaming a former president and start doing your job. Take the job that apparently you were voted into, which I can't see it happen last November. But take the job that you were voted into and be a leader for once. Stop trying to tear this country down. It's terrible what's going on. Terrible. Sickening. That's my closing, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you learned something from it. Remember, guys, you can follow me on Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcasts, as well as our social media platforms, both of Facebook and Instagram. Which, by the way, speaking of Instagram, I don't know if anybody's noticed, though, but we were kind of censored for like 10 hours today on Instagram. Weren't even allowed to post anything. And it's the big tech giants literally censoring conservative podcast creators and other vloggers on their platform. But anyway, guys, if you want to hear more content, yeah, right, a bunch of craziness. But if you want to hear more content, guys, you can follow us on social media, both on Facebook and in Instagram, as well as YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, guys. Check us out on YouTube and on Rumble too. We're going to get more content on YouTube and Rumble. We're kind of playing around with the two platforms, seeing what works better. So far, YouTube has been fair to us, so, can't really say anything bad about YouTube. But don't get me started with Facebook and Instagram. Oh boy, the censorship is real on those platforms, let me tell you. But yeah, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Rumble. And yeah, guys, next week we're going to be doing a couple of good shows. You want to check that out on Spotify. Can't leak out anything. I want to leave it a surprise. But check us out, guys. We got a lot of good shows coming up in the near future here, the nearest weeks. Check us out. We're going to have some really, really good content on the show. And with that being said, guys, as you can hear in my voice, I'm getting tired. I need a glass of water. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, maybe a can of beer will do with a trick. That being said, guys, thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Anchor, Spotify Podcasting Network.